Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the regular meeting of North Kawartha Council on this snowy February 3rd. Welcome to the folks that are here live in the studio with us this morning, and welcome to the folks that are joining us online. And I just want to remind everybody that our meetings are recorded and they're uploaded to our YouTube channel. So just be aware, any comments, any opinions that are expressed will be recorded and available for the public to hear. Okay. And before we get into the business of our meeting, council would like to acknowledge that we meet on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe. In particular, our neighbors from Curve Lake and Kawartha Anishinaabe First Nations. We recognize and honor the original people of this place we call North Kawartha. As duly elected representatives, we follow this Indigenous practice of acknowledgement to foster respectful deliberation, thoughtful collaboration, and wise decision-making in our service to this community. Okay, and at this point, I would ask, does any member have pecuniary interest with any of the matters that are coming before us today? Seeing none, we'll move on then. Adoption of the agenda. Are there any, I know there have been some, Kelly, do you just want to highlight some of the changes maybe? I know you did put it out there again, but.
Yesterday, we released an addendum that included the finance 2026 budget items, the staff report, the budget, 2026 capital and major projects, budget changes since December 10th, and the 2026 tax rate bylaw.
Perfect, okay. All right, so, and with that, can I have a motion to approve the agenda as amended, please, with those additions? Moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? That agenda has been approved. And I will now declare that we're going into a statutory public hearing for the purpose of hearing two zone amendment applications. These applications are here before us today. We have residents looking for relief from rules and regulations, and this is the opportunity for them to do so. It's also an opportunity for members of the public to provide comment on those requests for relief, either in support of or in opposition to. And while we encourage everyone to make their comments known to council so we can make the best decision possible, recent changes to the Planning Act have eliminated the right of appeal. It's limited now to the applicant and certain persons, identified persons and agencies. And for those folks, the date of appeal, there's a 20-day appeal period, and it begins the day the notice of the decision is posted. So I'm getting the nod from our planner. Perfect. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn it over to our planner. Good morning, Laura. Welcome, and please go ahead.
Good morning, and thank you very much, Madam Mayor. The first application is ZA-17-25. The recommendation is that council approve zone amendment application ZA-17-25 to permit the use of habitable space being a games room within a garage. The property information is as follows: 65 Fire Route 20. The roll number is 15360200001 82300. The owner is Greg Taylor, who is with us in the gallery today. The zoning is Shoreline Residential 100 or SR 100, and the official plan designation is seasonal residential. This property is located on Stony Lake. There is a detached garage on the property, and it was determined during a septic inspection that part of the garage was being used for a habitable space, which is not permitted in our bylaw. So Mr. Taylor underwent the process to have that remedied. And the specific section of the bylaw would be section 2.76 of definitions. So this application was compared against the provincial planning statement, and it was found that it conforms. It was compared against the Peterborough County official plan and also found that it conforms, being that a seasonal residential designation permits cottages and their accessory uses. In conclusion, the application to permit a habitable space within a garage conforms to the policies of the PPS and the official plan. The associated existing septic has been reviewed by the Township of North Kawartha's building department and was found to be sufficient to service the additional floor area created by the habitable space. This application is representative of good planning, and it's my opinion that it should be approved. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you for that, Laura. Now, at this point, I would ask if the applicant or the applicant's representative would want to provide any further comment to what Laura has presented. You don't have to, but just your opportunity to do so if you feel the need.
Not really at this time.
Okay, perfect. But if there's any questions that come up, I will certainly give you the opportunity to respond, okay? Okay, so with that then, is there anybody here that wants to speak on this application? This is the opportunity to do so, either in support of or in opposition to. I'm not seeing any indication in the chambers here, and I'm not seeing any indication online. Anything written that was submitted?
Nope.
Nope, okay, so there's been no written submissions. Nobody given me a sign anywhere that they want to speak on it, so I'm gonna go back then to members of council for questions, comments, or a motion, please. Anyone? Ruth Ann,
I'd be prepared to move the recommended motion.
okay. Is there a second? Oh, Colin got it, sorry, next time. Okay, so the council approved the zoning bylaw amendment application, ZA 17 25. All those in favor? That's approved. All right, on to the next one, Laura.
Thank you very much. So this application is ZA 18 25. The recommendation is that council approve zoning bylaw amendment application ZA 18 25 to permit the use of habitable space, this time a washroom facility, within a 2-story garage. The property information is as follows: 72 Fraser Estates Lane, roll number 153602000016202, the owners of the Oldmans. The zone is shoreline residential / rural, and the official plan designation is seasonal residential. So this application, the property has frontage onto Stony Lake, but the garage is intended to be located beyond Fraser Estates Lane, so it's to the rear of the property behind the private roadway that leads through the property. The zoning bylaw does not permit a 2-story garage and currently does not permit washroom facilities. Given the distance of the garage from the cottage, it would make sense for the washroom facility to be located there. There's no issues concerning septic locations or anything like that, so that's been cleared already. Well beyond 30 meters from the high water mark. This application was compared against the provincial planning statement, and it was found that it conforms. The application was also compared against the Peterborough County official plan. And once again, it was found that it conforms because accessory uses are permitted. In conclusion, the application to permit a washroom facility within a 2-story garage conforms to the policies of the PPS and official plan. The associated septic system is proposed to be located well beyond the 30-meter high water mark, and the design will be reviewed and permitted by the Township of North Kawarthas Building Department. This application is representative of good planning, and it is my opinion that it should be approved.
Okay, perfect. All right, so now I'm gonna ask for the applicant or the applicant's representative, and I know there's some folks here in the gallery, but I see Holly online, and I'm wondering, are you here for this, Holly?
I am. Through you, Madam
Good morning.
Mayor, I've got nothing to add. I'm just here to answer any questions.
Perfect, okay, all right. Okay, well then, I will ask if there's, oh, we do have a comment from the gallery. We have from our chief building official. Go ahead, Matt.
Good morning, Madam Mayor. It seems, sorry, that the wrong report was uploaded.
Uh-oh,
So it's actually a rural zone property, not a shoreline residential.
okay,
And it would be an exception zone to the rural.
okay,
Property zone, so, looks like we may have to do an adjustment to that, bylaw as well.
okay. So when we go look at the end of the day, if we're looking to approve it, then we'll just make sure that it's the correct one. Okay, perfect. All right, everybody, I see nodding heads, so we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna ask if there's any member of the public that is here to speak on this application. And I'm not seeing any indication here in the gallery, and I don't see anybody online. Again, Laura, have we received any written submissions on this?
We have not.
Okay, all right. So I don't see any indication anybody wants to speak on this, either in support of or in opposition. So back to council, questions or comments? Jim?
Yeah, move the recommendation, Madam Chair.
Perfect. Okay, is there a seconder for that? Seconded by Jim O'Shea. And that recommendation, I'm just gonna go back up, just so we're all clear, the council approves zoning bylaw amendment application ZA 018-25. All those in favor? That's approved. Okay, so just make sure then, when we do the bylaws at the end of the meeting, that
It will have to be amended.
Yeah,
The
okay.
old one is.
Just change the words, make sure that it's all legit and correct. So, all right, well, thanks, everyone. appreciate you coming and, have a great rest of the day. If you don't want to stay and enjoy this riveting meeting that we're about. You're welcome. Great. Take care. And I'm going to declare that we are out of statutory public hearing and we are going to carry on with our business. We do have a presentation that's scheduled for 10:15 a.m. So, excuse me. Before that, we can get a bunch of our business done and so we'll go into county reports. I don't have any. We have our first meeting of the year will be tomorrow. And so we'll have a report next time. Crow Valley, there's a municipal brief here, but Colin, do you have anything?
Yeah, and just an update on our January meeting. So we had more discussion about the proposed changes by the province. But yes, we still don't have sort of direction on how local governance and finances are gonna be handled. One of our members did sort of copy us on a letter that was advocating pretty aggressively, saying that governance was going to be restricted. And the board chose not to support that and to remain sort of following Ontario Conservation Ontario.
Right.
Who is sort of working in the background to try to make sure that fair governance remains. But again, we don't want to start jumping to conclusions before we have an answer from the province. Otherwise, they're going to look at us as partners that may not be worth working with. And I worry that it damages the reputation.
Yeah.
We also had our election of officers. I just had too much going on, so I did not stand for chair, but I did move down to vice chair. So I do remain on the executive there. Mike Metcalf was elected chair. He's from Trent Hills.
Okay.
He's also the chair of Orca. So with the shared general manager, now shared chair, there's lots of opportunity for shared information to go back and forth and improvements to be made that way. So I'm quite pleased with the structure. We finalized our budget. That came in at 2.07% increase for the municipal levy. So we did everything we could in a year when things got more expensive to minimize our increase there. But again, with the sort of new general management, the vast institutional knowledge that's there, new board format, I think that 2.07 doesn't mean we're not going to be improving. And I'm actually more optimistic about improvements at the Crow than I have been much of time. So I think it's too bad that the province is going to be doing some condensation of some sort, because right now we're finding ways to do this on our own. But it also puts us in a good position when that condensation does start to happen because we've already taken a lead on it and are essentially a pilot for them with sharing of services.
Perfect. Okay. Jim.
Colin, they haven't given you any idea, eh? Who you'd be paired with or how it would be set up?
So we have an idea of the zone we'd be in. It would stretch down into Prince Edward County. It would go east as far as Mississippi or Mississauga River, or one of those two.
Yeah.
And then it goes past Lindsay. So it's a large geographical area. But again, those aren't finalized. That's just the proposed boundaries that we've seen so far. And we would be the northeast extreme of that new region.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for Colin? If not, motion to receive his Crow Valley report, moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? That's been received. Adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting of council, which was on January 13th. There are no errors or omissions. Can I have a motion to adopt those minutes, please? Moved by Colin, seconded by Ruth Ann. All those in favor? Those minutes have been adopted. And now consent agenda. Is there anybody that wants to pull anything other than me? I haven't heard anything, but just a couple of things then. I just would like to discuss number 9 and number 10. All right, so if the council's okay with that, first of all, just to highlight number 9, There's a big, big thank you.
Letters, yeah.
Yeah, the letters, yeah, so from, as you guys recall, the artist Cole Swanson who painted the rock cut there, he sent a lovely letter about our economic development officer, and so I asked, can I put this on the agenda, please? Can we have some good news? Anyway, but well deserved, and I know even when we met that day on the highway, and he was singing your praises then, Edward, about how great it was to have your guidance and assistance through the process to get that done, so and you went to the opening?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, how was it?
It was, very well attended and it's a beautiful exhibit, so.
Cool. Yeah, I planned to go. I wanted to go that day, but I had just come back from the city and then all I had to do was shovel and snow blow and I didn't make it, but anyway, but yeah, I think it's till March
March 29th.
March 29th. So yeah, I would recommend anyone who has a chance to check out the art gallery at Peterborough and see Cole Swanson's exhibit. So it's pretty amazing. And then the other letter is there's a letter regarding our program coordinator at the library, Lisa Mace. It's a nice little letter and it came to council, was addressed to the mayor and council, but I would ask for a motion to receive it and that we forward it and share it with the library board. Okay, moved by Jim, seconded by Ruth Ann, all those in favor. And then anything else? Excuse me. I've got clear my throat, though. Can't get sick. Don't get sick. Anyway, if there's nothing else, then can I have a motion to receive the balance of the course or consent items? Okay, moved by Jim O'Shea, seconded by Colin, all in favor. That's been received. And now we're right into staff reports requiring action. Matt, you're up with some more good news. Yay, it's been a long time coming.
Somebody did.
It was like 3. Yeah, it was actually a competition. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Madam Mayor and members of council. So you have before you a report and on the proposed renovations for office space at 135 Burley Street. That's the former RBC Bank building. And the recommendation is the council approves the proposal from Rubicon General Contracting for the office space renovation project at 135 Burley Street, Apsley, in the amount of $89,014.96, including HST, for all the work that was included in the scope of work within RFP 0825. So as you can see from the report, we did receive 3 different proposals, and they were evaluated by myself and Edward Hilton. Based on those evaluations, we came up to the conclusion that this was the most economical and that met all of the requirements of the RFP to renovate the space. You can see in the report, there is percentages given in a table on the second page. From the evaluation, we didn't indicate the other proposals pricing, as proposals can be different. It's not the same as a tender. So tenders is very specific in what is being required. For a proposal is something where the applicant brings forward what they're proposing to do with the what we're asking for. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
Jim, yeah, you go.
Yeah, okay, now, does this include, some kind of an entrance, cover or something to, so that you don't go straight into the building?
It doesn't, no. So again, that wasn't part of the plans. So I'm just gonna turn this on. It wasn't included in the plans that we had drafted up. So you're talking like a vestibule as you walk in.
Something to block the cold air from going straight into the building.
Yeah, we don't have that included at this time. But it is something that we could look at adding to the, the proposal, I'm sure.
Will be done sort of in like inside too, interior, like you can put up a partition or a wall, but
That's right.
the alternate entrance is being done.
That's correct.
Right.
So
Okay.
there's a alternate entrance, once the entrance that's currently at the front is blocked off between the bank machine and the office space. There'll be an alternate entrance, coming in, kind of from the side, I guess.
Yeah.
But then there's a second entrance also being installed at the back.
Perfect.
Yeah, and both are barrier-free entrances.
Good.
And then the barrier-free washroom and barrier-free door opening between the staff room and the office space as well.
Okay.
If a tenant, obviously this is being done in order to encourage a lease at the building, and if the tenant wishes to have a vestibule, then you know, that's something that they can look at as well,
Yeah.
to meet their needs.
Okay. All right, and, oh, Alana.
I just wanted to comment on the financials. So
Yep.
we do have the 50,000 plus 25,000 set aside.
Mhm.
So this would require an additional $14,015 basically to be taken from future capital reserves. So if council is in favor, you may want to include that as part of the motion.
Okay, all right, well, we can certainly do that. What's the timing on this, Matt? Does it say in here?
That's a good question. They were proposing to be finished a month earlier than, or a little more than a month earlier than what we originally thought.
Okay,
So if you bear with me, I can look that up.
like, are we thinking like, would it be like 6 months or?
Oh, no, so they're anticipating, I believe, in April.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. Whoa,
yeah,
Yay.
finished in April, I believe.
okay,
Let me just bring up the proposal. Sorry, I shouldn't have had that in front of me.
oh, that's okay,
But yeah, it's a fairly quick turnaround.
Good.
And,
okay,
yeah, I think we were looking for sometime in May, and I believe they were anticipating to be finished in April.
it's excellent, so we can advertise the space a lot sooner.
To say that, I'm sorry for speaking over Matt here too, Edward, but I think at this point we can go put a for lease sign in that window and actually start to make this public
Yeah.
and really try to track somebody down to fill that space, because even if it's under renovation, we could show them the plans of the renovation.
Exactly. Okay, yeah, Jim.
What's this been empty now, 8 years?
No, wasn't that. Oh, well, since the bank was there, yeah, sorry, I thought you were.
I move that the recommendation and that the charges in finance, $14,014.96 be taken from future capital reserves.
Okay, that's the motion, and then Ruth Ann's gonna second it. All those in favor? That's approved.
Get her done.
Yes, thanks, Matt.
Thank you. Sorry, I wasn't able to find.
That's okay.
that.
No, I mean, hey, like, you gave us enough information and we're excited. That's good.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, so next up, we have emergency services. There's a couple of reports here. Alana, I'm assuming you're gonna do this, or no?
Jesse's just pulling in right.
Jesse's just pulling in. Okey
Here
dokey.
for this.
Okay, so then you know what? We'll there's a lot on finance. How about we go to committee of adjustment appointments? Can we do that really quick? Before I give Jesse some time to come in, so we've caught ourselves before we've actually had a committee of adjustment meeting. That's good. Sometimes we're scrambling, right? But Kelly, is this your report? You wanna do this? Tell us what it is?
This is the, every year we need to appoint members for our committee of adjustment. And, currently, the previous year, our committee of adjustment was comprised of all members of council, with the mayor as chair. And so we need a motion to, if we want to move forward, to appoint all 5 members of council to the North Kawartha Committee of Adjustment for 1 year, commencing January 1st to December 31st. And further, to appoint a secretary treasurer. Traditionally, it's the clerk.
Okay. All right. What do you say, council? Wanna go back on it again?
I don't wanna go back.
We haven't really prepared an alternative though, so. Anybody want to make that motion? Ruth Ann, okay, seconder, no, Jim O'Shea is gonna second it. All those in favor? That's perfect, just to be clear, so we're appointing all of us, because we still have to do elections at the committee level. But we've appointed the 5 members of council to the committee of adjustment and the clerk as the secretary treasurer of, or is it just secretary?
Secretary Treasurer.
Okay, of the committee of adjustment, okay, that's the motion that we did. Perfect, so that's done, and now Jesse, perfect timing, come on up. We're gonna talk about generators and. Yeah, just put that on, Jess. Okay, and good morning, please go ahead.
Morning, Madam Mayor and Council. So in front of you, we have a report for emergency purchase and installation of a Generac standby generator at the Apsley Fire Station number 2. During the Christmas holidays, after routine checks, we've realized that it had some major issues with it. And we called in our third party that annually looks at these, and they have suggested that we replace due to such major mechanical issues with the generator. It is, just to note, it is 19 years old. So we went out and we got three quotes. And as you can see in the report, they're listed here. So we're recommending that Eels Electric be awarded to replace the standby generator.
Okay, Jim.
That's the cost of a residential one, is that, does this not need a commercial one or something, Jesse?
Through you, Madam Mayor, we asked Eels Electric and the other 3 the same, and they all recommended the air-cooled, not the liquid-cooled generators that the technology has come a long way, so this is what they're recommending, so.
And follow up, does this allow for the heat and everything in the apartment for the students?
Oh, no, that's different there. This is for the fire hall here. Yeah.
Oh, this is for here?
Yeah.
Oh, for our fire hall
Yeah.
here. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Colin?
More just a general statement, but if we are gonna be using our asset management plan for replacement, I think there's enough generators around the entire municipality that we should be looking at them as a whole and have a plan for replacement. So these don't pop up and get purely funded through asset management, but we can use a little bit of the budget for it as well.
Okay. But you're not saying.
I'm still fine with this.
Okay, okay, Alana?
The management team actually was discussing exactly that we should have like a regular replacement schedule. And look at all these, and I know one thing that Chief mentioned to me was that we're actually able to keep this old one for spare parts and have used some of those parts at the Woodview station, so
Okay.
we're making the most of what we can, but you're right, it should be a replacement schedule plan.
19 years is a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, all right, well, there is the recommendation there. Somebody would like to move it, please? Moved by Colin, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? You got yourself a new generator. Okay, up next is, oh, I'm pleased about this. Go ahead, Jesse, talk to us about the dock.
Madam Mayor and Council, so we store 2 boats down at the Woodview Wharf on private property currently, and we have for a numerous amount of years. The cribbing down there is starting to become a health and safety issue with our staff. It's rotting away, it's decaying, and it's becoming major issues for us. So we are looking for council's approval to move that dock to the Stony Lake Wharf on the west end, so it doesn't impede public access and use on the wharf. And we feel that this, even though we haven't had issues with the private owner, they've been kind enough to let us store the boat there for numerous years. We feel moving further in the future, it'll keep our access to that lake, so.
Jim?
Yeah, I always thought we had a shoreline road allowance down there. Do we not have a shoreline road allowance on Stony?
I'm not.
in that particular
I
location.
don't believe we have it on the Trent Severn waterway lakes.
Yeah.
Don't have any on Trail 7?
No, probably not,
There isn't shoreline road allowances on Stone.
because people own flooded lands underneath, right? So,
Okay.
but it's all, I mean, I remember the last time I think we were down there, we were doing a tour and, it was rickety then too. And we have a public wharf there. So it makes sense that we would, you know, maintain our own equipment and stuff and vessels on our own property, our own infrastructure. So I think that's a great idea. Anybody else, questions or comments?
Great idea.
Who wants to move the recommendation? Jim O'Shea, seconded by Ruth Ann, all in favor? That's approved. All right, thanks, Jesse.
Thank you, Council, Madam Mayor.
Okay. All right, we're moving right along. We have our treasurer here, go. And the tax collector, deputy treasurer, come on up. Let's talk about, oh yeah, I know, but I've got a lot talking about. We're talking about a lot of money. But first up is the mileage rate. Are we going up a cent? Is that what it is? All right, well, whoever wants to start, please go ahead.
So, yeah, the mileage rate, I guess we'll look at first.
Yep.
Basically, same kind of thing, it's going up a cent, we go with the CRA rate, same as the county does, and those are the rates that are in the books.
Okay.
Do we still just follow the county?
Well, it's CRA.
We do, the county follows CRA, so, yeah, they started just
Okay.
using that formula.
Yep, okay. All right, questions, comments?
So I'll second it, but I'm.
With a comment? Yep.
Comment. I'd actually prefer to see this continue to come back on an annual basis rather than just have it be done in the background.
Okay.
So when it would be an amendment to the recommendation, and just sort of lopping off the second half.
Okay,
I don't think it's necessary right now, but if there's a point, I could see there being a point where we'd have to start differentiating between rural and urban. And then starting to think about a different cost compared to just having a standardized one, because the cost from Bay to Bloor and Sherburne to Bloor is radically different than trying to do that within a community like this.
but is that motion saying that you wouldn't bring it back or no?
I see where it can be confusing.
Okay.
Because we did the same motion last year, and when I was looking at it this year. Sorry, I'll back up a little
Yeah.
bit. So the county does not take it to the meetings, so I understand. The treasurer
Yeah.
just goes ahead and
Yeah.
puts it into effect.
Yeah.
However, and that was the intent, but when I looked at that motion from last year, I thought, I don't know if it's clear that that's the way it should be. Also, I felt that council should be aware of it each year.
Yeah.
So whether that stays on or not, I mean, you can take it off and then it might be clearer for the next year.
Well, because I would think too, like, if there's gonna be a change even partway through the year, you'd wanna bring it back and let us know, right? So. I don't,
For sure.
yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, I mean, it's usually an annual thing anyway, but I mean, if some things change, because I seem like to recall that has happened in the past, but anyway. Okay, so maybe then that's just maybe whatever the wording is, you just wanna top off that last bit.
Yeah, so it'd have to
Is that okay with
be an
you?
amendment to.
Oh,
No, you don't want to,
I
you just want her to do it?
I like it the way it's set up now, because we go with everybody else, and
Yeah,
are we gonna do a study on our own and see what the mileage rate should be?
No.
I don't think so, so why would we bother? Just bring it forward and let us know and.
okay,
Especially like if we pass the recommended motion, it wouldn't be brought forward at any point. I'm not actually suggesting we do that. But it's something that really
Yeah.
wouldn't happen unless we were revisiting it on an annual basis, and this is just a way to recheck on an annual basis, so.
so I think, yeah, but it says that a reasonable rate and further, maybe that, and further that the treasurer is directed to continue with this annual mileage rate process. And just leave it at that. Cause it's still gonna come back, right? You're still gonna tell us every time, right? Like, it doesn't say that they're not gonna come back, so, but I think because when it says until a change is requested by council or the treasurer, makes it seem like if nobody's requesting a change, you're not coming back to talk to us about it, right? So maybe get rid of that last little bit, can you handle that? just the last, like, 10 words. Like, process period.
I'm fine with it. I think what I'm saying has gotten out there.
Yeah,
I
okay. I
understand.
didn't take it that way,
Yeah.
so I mean, but that's good that you like raised that, because I didn't see it that way. I just figured like, because we do this every year to come forward and, but Alana?
Yeah, so it would still be based on the Canada Revenue Agency's
Yes.
reasonable mileage allowance, similar to the other municipalities. It's just, if you took that part off, it'll come back annually.
Yeah. Right,
Or-
it's because I figured that was the change, like if we say we don't want it to be the CRA anymore, we want it to be something else, right? Like, that's what I had thought. It was not that we were agreeing that we're never gonna have you present this to us again.
So, to be clear, if we pass this as it is, she's not coming back.
No, she is.
Okay, so that's the way I like it, right the way it is.
Okay.
And that's fine. Just based on this, it reads like it's not.
Okay, no, I get it now. I do get it, but are you comfortable now on knowing that she will come back?
Yes.
We're gonna see you again, Judy, next year, same time. Okay, all right.
I move the recommendation.
Oh, I know you did. And Ellen will second it now, comfortably now. And all those in favor? That's approved. Okay, perfect. And what's next up? We have property tax.
Yes,
That's you,
so,
Diana.
yes, I would like to have the tax due date set. We use the dates that the old age pension comes out. And these are exactly those dates. So
Okay.
in 2026, it would be March 27th and May the 27th for the interim tax due dates, and July the 29th and September the 28th for the final tax due dates.
Okay.
Did you say that's the same day as the old age security? Wouldn't it be nicer to have it a day after so people have a chance to pay it?
Go ahead, Judy.
Am
Yeah.
Am I missing something again?
I think, okay, in the past, we've always awarded maybe a couple of days grace.
Yeah.
Okay, until the due date. So if we did that, you're cutting it close, it might fall on that date, or it might be one day because of the weekends, you know, the business
Mhm.
days. It's not allowing that time, and we have ratepayers who might be a little upset with us if we said, oh no, there was no grace period for that month or whatever. We kind of keep it that way.
We don't have a rule that says you have so many grace days, but we have done that in as a gift to our township, to our property owners.
Yeah.
So penalty is not added until the first business day of the next month. Your taxes are due on the due date. However, we do recognize that there could be an issue with some people, so we do allow that.
So that's why the 27th and the 28th, those like, it's a few days before the end of.
That's correct, yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. And you know what? They'll figure it out. The government money comes in first and then this government money goes out after. It's all good. It's good, Jim. Are you worried?
Yeah. I mean, if my old age pension doesn't come in on time, I'm gonna be late.
Okay, Jim, and then Colin, go ahead.
I don't know whether I'm correct or not, but most people get it as an automatic deposit in their bank. So it really doesn't matter.
Do most people do it by automatic deposit?
So more and more and more, we probably have about reaching 2,000 of our property owners that are on pre-authorized payment in one of our 3 plans.
And how many altogether? Like what?
That's what I mean, like
What percentage would that be though?
Tax.
Wouldn't be most of them,
no, it's getting close. It's around 40% or so.
40%.
But then we have a lot that are on mortgage as well, right? So,
Right. Pre-authorized payments and everything. Okay, all right, Colin?
yeah.
And so I'm thinking back to COVID in that year that we had that change in interest based on when we were collecting money. Do we have the availability, like, are we able to collect the entirety towards the beginning of the year and apply some sort of discount? Like, we're not gonna charge the 2.2% for a credit card if people pay their annual tax levy in
Early.
January or February.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you answer that.
Sorry.
That's okay.
depending on the budget, we don't know how much it's going to be, their taxes are going to be, depending on when the budget is passed. And I don't know the discount, there's something in the municipal act, isn't there?
There is, but I don't know what the discount rate is,
And if it's
allowable, but that would be cumbersome.
It's just because that's what I was gonna say, because we usually set, because the first one is based on last year's taxes, the
That's
first,
correct, yes.
first two installments payment.
It's
but then-
50% of the previous year's
Yeah.
taxes.
And then whatever, once things are finalized, then we know what the
Yeah,
final
correct.
payments will be,
Yes.
right? So that's the only challenge.
Yeah.
Unless we're able to pass the budget much earlier than now.
Wouldn't be a definite, right? That would be on a year-to-year basis.
Yes.
That we would do that.
Yeah, so,
So
yeah, I'd be interested to know, like, so you said it's in the municipal act though?
I can certainly.
Yeah, if you
do that
want, like,
for
maybe
you
just
and-
send an email and let
Yeah.
us know, cause I would
Yeah.
be interested to know on
Yeah.
that too. I mean, hey, all the options that we can provide for people to make it as easy as possible to pay their taxes, it's a good thing. So, okay, so there is the motion that we adopt the bylaw to authorize me and the clerk to sign oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. I got ahead of myself because it's taking a long time to open my reports, sorry. Council adopts the 2026 property tax due dates and penalty and interest bylaw. Moved by Colin, seconded by Ruthann, all those in favor? Okay, so that's been adopted, and now it's the fire protection grant agreement. That was the motion I was reading. Pardon me, so we got some money. Woo!
We do, we have it coming, yes.
Yeah.
So this is the second year for this grant and, they're awarding,
It's like 19.
$18,536. So what we applied for was, second set of bunker gear and decontamination packs. In addition to.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions on that?
Just received this.
There were, no, this is where council adopt the bylaw to have me sign it so we get the money. Yeah.
I'll move the recommendation.
Okay, Colin's gonna move the recommendation. Jim O'Shea, you wanna second that? Okay, perfect. All those in favor? Okay, that's approved and more money. Yeehaw, go ahead.
For pothole prevention and repair program.
Mhm.
So this is something new and just by the wording and some of the emails, it's looking like it may be an annual
Oh.
grant, we'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, what they're saying is that we've been approved for 38,000. So this is actually, and they're backdating it, so I think they kind of came up with it partway through last year and then so this is for expenses from April 1st of 25 to March 31st of 26. So this amount will be credited, like go into the 25 year.
Okay.
So it doesn't affect the 26 budget, but hopefully, and we don't know if there'll be another one this year, so we can't really budget for revenue if we don't know. But we'll take it.
Take the money.
Exactly. Jim O'Shea.
Is this just for municipal roads?
This is for they allowed it so much, we had to apply for it, but yeah, I believe it is just township. And we have to apply for it.
Yeah, so that would be, if it's coming from the MTO, right? So is it a lower tier thing? Do you know if the county, I mean, I can always ask the county too, but do you know if the county? would
And I
apply?
don't know,
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. But hey, nice if there's another annual guaranteed stable funding. We can always use more of that. Jim O'Shea.
Move the recommendation.
Perfect. And the seconder for that, seconded by Ruthann. All those in favor? That has been approved. And okay, I know we gotta do the budget thing, but there is the MISA. Why don't we just do that? Cause that's kind of and then we'll finish it off with all the budget talk, but the municipal ice storm assistance grant. So we asked for a lot. We didn't quite get what we asked, but we still got some. So go ahead.
We did get some, and I'm still looking into it. I just received the email on Friday of how much they were allowing us to have, so. I want to look into it and say, how come, like, cause they're saying it was 75% that we were to receive back, and that's not 75%. So I want to see what expenses they allowed and what they didn't allow. I know they weren't allowing any capital items or anything like, the chipper,
I know.
chainsaws, that kind of thing that we would keep.
Right.
But I'm not sure what else they didn't allow, so.
Well, let's accept this right now.
Yes.
And then we'll go back and see if we can get more. Let's get this in. So, okay, so the recommendation that we adopt the bylaw to have me sign for this money, moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Jim Whalen. All those in favor? That's approved. Okay, so now back to the budget. Are you okay? Do you want a break?
I'm sorry, I don't, was there a invitation?
Oh, crap. I was getting so excited. Sorry. Yes, we do have a presentation. Okay. So, and it is 10:15. Oh my God, I'm on time. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me on track, people. But yes, I apologize. And we do have, do we have folks online?
We do their own.
Oh, there they are right there. I'm looking, pardon. I'll be all right. Anyway, good morning, Ashley and Jill. You guys are here to talk to us about some exciting news. So I don't know if you can hear. I'm gonna ask you to unmute because we can see you. And then there you go. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm so sorry. We couldn't hear you. My apologies. We got the volume figured on our end. I'm so sorry.
No worries, but yeah, welcome and please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. So good morning. My name is Ashley Collins.
And I'm Jill Wickens.
And we are here today on behalf of Compass Early Learning and Care, which is a not-for-profit charitable organization. And we also have the pleasure of being able to offer childcare in the Apsley community currently. And our primary focus of being here today is that we have a potential property on 80 Burleigh Street that we were investigating the possibility of being able to expand and use for childcare purposes. And so we are respectfully requesting consideration for it to be rezoned back to institutional to allow childcare as a permitted use. I'll toss it over to Jill to just share. We thought you might like to hear a bit more about, you know, the wait list and a bit more information about operations. So we'll share that. And then of course, at the end, open it up for any questions. I'll toss it up to Jill for that piece.
Great, thanks, Ashley. I am currently the operations support for the area, and we work really closely with our municipalities. And we use One HSM, which is a waitlist system in and around Peterborough and Peterborough County. So it does help us to track what the trends are and when families do need care. And right now we have 71 children on our current wait list. The greatest number of those are infants, and then a smaller number of toddlers and a little smaller number of preschoolers. And that could be because our current location does have a strong preschool capacity, as well as toddlers and 6 little infants. So you can see that there's still a need. It's not really meeting the need in the area. We're currently working with the owner of Burleigh Street, 80 Burleigh Street, to think and dream about the possibility of creating an additional space for anywhere from 10 infants, 15 toddlers, to a big dream would be for 24 preschoolers. However, we're trying to think about how we're going to work within the current footprint of the building so that we can accommodate as many children as possible without disrupting anything else that's happening there. We had the opportunity to walk the land with the building owner, and some of I think Carolyn was there and Edward was there, and we were able to walk the land and see all of the beautiful trees and flowers, and it was a little bit snowy that day, so it was a bit crunchy. The beautiful creek, and there's just so much possibility there for an outdoor program. And one of our strong values is children outdoors as much as possible. And so when we think about, you know, staying within the current footprint, we can actually say we don't need to be at maximum capacity or maximum footprint area for each child. It's square footage that the ministry requires. We would have to meet building code requirements, and we'd have to meet all of the parking requirements, all of the, the safety. There is also the Oak Ridge Marine. There's all those pieces that we have to combine our thinking caps to make sure that we're meeting all the requirements for those too.
But we do think that this would be absolutely a beautiful space for children to gather and to play and to investigate the land. And so we're really hopeful that we are able to change the zoning so that we can start to dream a little bit more about that. And how grateful we are to the owner who was so kind to think about us and say, hey, have you thought about expanding your childcare program and knowing that there's a big need up in the area? We do know the demographics. The study on the demographics is probably not going to change, that it's a growing community, not a shrinking community. And so the needs for childcare will continue to grow.
Yeah. And from a funding perspective too, we've been really grateful. There was actually a very generous donor that lives in that community that had come forward and had offered to a pretty sizable donation, somewhere probably likely in the range of 750,000 to $1 million to make this project possible to support some of those renovations. And then in addition, the service system manager with the city of Peterborough had also said that she would support in terms of committing the additional funding needed to make this project possible. So we think from a financial perspective, we could make that possible. One of the things was that with that funding, there is a December 31st looming timeline. So that's why we were trying to work through as much as possible. And honestly, we would want to do that for the community too. We want to get as many of these families off the wait list into childcare as possible. That's really our core purpose. At Compass is trying to support accessible, affordable, quality childcare in the community. So our hope and our main purpose would be able to support the community in that way. And then maybe just to close and summarize. So really what we're here today is to respectfully ask council to consider approving in principle rezoning the property back to the original institutional zoning with childcare being a permitted use. And then 2, if there would be any consideration for waiving rezoning fees with it being previously zoned institutional, and to support us in trying to put as a not-for-profit charity as much as possible of that budget into renovations for the children. So we'll end with gratitude. Thank you for having us here today, and we are very happy to answer any questions. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Thanks so much. This is very exciting news. Jim Whalen, you start us off.
Yeah, it sure is, Ashley and Joe. How many children did you say you'd be able to accommodate with the plan you have at the moment?
Right now, we are accommodating 37 at our current location. We would like to add an additional 32 at the new location. And more if we added another section on, we could create another 24 spaces. So, but if we stay within the current footprint, with the dream of expanding someday, should the need be there, we would be adding additional 32 spaces, and that would only touch a portion of the 71 we know, but it's better than not having spaces at all.
I agree. Go ahead. Yeah.
Just to follow up, the space that you're looking at, the owner obviously is in favor of doing what you're bringing forward. How about the financing on it? How are you, wouldn't it take quite a bit of financing to get it open the way you want?
Yes, that's a great question. So we're projecting probably a budget of about 1.8 million to purchase the property and then to retrofit it for childcare. So, but we have moved through finances. So we have the very generous donation from a member of the APSA community for almost $1 million. He is looking at contributing. And then the city of Peterborough has also committed funding of the additional 800,000 for that total of 1.8 million to make it possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
How to go, girls.
Yeah.
That's great. I'll make a motion whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. We know that, but there's more questions. Yeah, Colin, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you for your support.
How does the wait list work? Is that 71 people across the county or 71 people within North Kawartha? And I'm not doubting that there is a need locally, just that the one individual I know is one of the infants that's in North Kawartha. So they were able to very quickly get the child into childcare and return to work. So can you just give a little more detail on how that 71 person list actually works?
For sure. So it's called the One HSS system. And what families do is go in and put in they pick their community that they want childcare in because it's for all of Peterborough and Peterborough County. So Apsley is a listed location on One HSN. And it comes with a map, so they know that that current area has a childcare program. So families would go in and say they want an infant space for a child of this age. So it could be anywhere from 0 to 18 months as an infant. And then they would put on, they want a start date of September 2026. And then they hope and pray that they get a space. It says the same for infant, toddler, preschool, and school age and kinders. So there's the 5 different categories that the families can go in and put their name on the wait list. They choose when they need care and they choose the age of their child when they put the child on the wait list, what they will be when they need it. So some people put their children on the wait list the minute they find out they're expecting. So, yeah, they do because they're waiting desperately for it's our and some people can be on the wait list for 3 years before they even get a call. So this will really open up the opportunity to at least have more conversations. And again, when we're looking at the footprint, we're looking at what can we maximize to support the wait list the way it is. We have a bit of flexibility with our licensing capacity for a square foot per child and how we build something like that. And so, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, so that just, it offers an opportunity to have conversations with the families and find out more when they need care and how quickly we can get them in.
And the wait list that might be Apsley, but it also might be the surrounding communities too. Is that fair to say?
Right.
As well. And I know Edward was really kind to pull some demographic data, which I think showed there was approximately around 100 to 110 between the 0 to 5 age group, which would be the population that we were looking at. And that what I believe was for North Kawartha.
We also did talk to some people in North Hastings to get their wait list, because if they live, right now we have infants coming from just this side or Apsley side of Bancroft coming to the Apsley program. And so we know that families will drive if they have quality, affordable childcare.
Yeah. Well, we know where people work too, right? Like, I mean, if there's people coming from the city and then they're working up here, say, right? You know, maybe it would make more sense for them to have their child up at the daycare here. I know my kids were some of the first to enroll at the daycare at the school. So it's come a long way in 16 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But I was the same. I had put my kids on the ways even before we even had a daycare here, right? And I remember I would come up to the top and for some place in Peterborough, I'm like, just put me down to the back, the bottom, right? Because we don't have it yet. But I think if I remember, Jim, you may correct me, we had social services make the presentation to county, I think before the holidays. There's like, I want to say like 3,500 to 4,000 kids in the county and city.
That's correct.
That are on like, right, that for our wait list for childcare. Like it's huge. And I mean, and for Apsley to be a part of that, like you think about where the priority is going to go, where they're going to hit the most number of people. You know, when it comes to providing new facilities, you know, it's not necessarily always going to be Apsley, right? So we're very fortunate in the situation that we have with the support with the private donor and all of that. So it's exciting.
Yeah. The one thing I can add to that as well is that families can choose where they want to be. So they could choose 5 different locations. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And hope for the one that they really want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the good news is it sounds like there's 71 people that are willing to drive to Apsley. So that demand is built in. And I don't mean to sound like I'm wheeling and dealing with early learning people here. But something that I think is worth considering, if we're going to waive the fee, which is something that I'm in favor of, deferring it and not making it conditional upon having a spot, but there's lots of communities that are reserving spots in daycare for like a doctor's child. So they've got places for them to be able to move into. And I think that can be part of the negotiation of removing that fee. So I just, like, I agree with everything, but I would just defer the collection of the rezoning fee if that's actually allowed.
So that's a really great point, because we are looking at our wait list right now to, and we have a couple of programs in other communities that we have reserved, or the municipality has reserved 2 spaces for children that also qualify for childcare subsidy. So the lower income families, so that because they often find a job after they're ready to go back to work, or it's last minute, they find a job and then they need childcare. So reserving those spaces, and we've got community support with the municipal funders to save those spaces until such time that they're needed. And we do have a fairly flexible wait list right now. It does support our staff, because we need the staff. If they bring their children, they have priority, as well as returning children and current children in care. And we say community partners, and our community partners would be considered our doctors and our nurse practitioners, our nurses, and the people that are really needing spaces in our community. So yes, that is addressed in our waitlist policy.
Okay, and our planner has some information to add. Go ahead, Laura.
Thank you very much, and through you, Madam Mayor. In order for a zoning bylaw amendment application to be considered complete, to be able to bring it forward, the fee has to be addressed, either waived by council with a resolution, or the fee is paid. So deferring it is not, we wouldn't be able to deem the application complete.
Yeah, no, and I think I know where we're kind of leaning. But the other thing is, can you speak to a bit, because this was a church, like, how did the rezoning, how did it get out of institutional? Did it come before us? Like, I don't even remember.
So what may have happened, because there isn't a paper trail, is that when the county of Peterborough took over doing GIS, they did a number of public consultations. But if the property owner didn't go and specifically address their property, it may have been overlooked. So it could have been that the GIS program picked up a residential component of that, labeled it, no one said anything. And then, but unfortunately, that does make part of our schedules for the zoning bylaw. So even though it was done potentially in error, it still is something that would need to be addressed through the formal channels.
Yeah, no, and I agree. And that's that was my concern from the get-go when I'd heard about this. I was like, why was it changed? It doesn't make sense. So all the more reason, I think, to give consideration to this request, for sure. And anything else? Any other questions or comments? Edward, go ahead, Edward.
I'll just, I provide the demographic data. There's definitely a need, growing need from the community, especially with the current facility when it was planned using 2000 in 2001, 20 and 2006 demographic data. We have a permanent population that has expanded by 25%. Also, too, in terms of demographics across Ontario, we're seeing more families move from single income to dual income families, and that's putting additional demand on daycare services. And it's something that's come up with from an economic development perspective, both for employers in terms of being able to get staff, but also to get people back into the workforce as well, that lack of daycare being an issue. So from an economic development perspective as well, that there's definitely the demand, we're seeing both here at the county level as well. It comes up time and time again.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, and ultimately we are investing in the future of our community with something like this. So, basically, the request is to council for approval in principle for rezoning of the subject property back to institutional with childcare as the intended use, and further that council waive the fees for this rezoning application.
Move that happily.
Okay, moved by Jim Whalen, seconded by Ruth Ann. Any further discussion on this? All those in favor? That is approved unanimously. I'm so glad you came here today and now it's public. That's awesome. Yeah, let's get going on this and whatever else we can do to help, like, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
start running.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, yay. I know.
Thank you
Thanks so much,
very
ladies.
much. Okay, have a
Thanks.
wonderful rest of.
Bye-bye.
Bye, thank
Okay,
you.
thanks, bye-bye. Can I have a motion then to receive the presentation from Ashley and Jill, please? Moved by Ruth Ann, seconded by Colin, all those in favor? That is received, and I'm gonna move a 5-minute break. Okay, and then we're gonna do budget. We're gonna call for